child of God, I'm defeating all lies. On the up top, yeah, with the ring squad. I ain't clocked out, yeah, I'm still on my job. I'm still on my. I'm a child of God, I'm defeating all lies. On the up top, yeah, with the ring squad. How can I hide when I'm really outside? Hey, I'm a child of God, breaking all odds. Oh, what up? Hey, I was gonna have some music, get me in the mood, get me ready. Hopefully, you do the same, get you ready for the day. Your boy's back, Mark E. once again, KC Welder. What's going on? Today's video is going to be a real estate one I'm going to bring to you, and it is all about choose your lender wisely. Choosing your lender is very important. And so I say choose your lender wisely because they can make or break a deal. They can make your deal a lot more stressful than what it should be. They can do a lot when it comes to your deal, the property you're trying to purchase, or the home you're trying to buy. Obviously, yes, you want good rates. You want to get one of the best rates out there, one of the best programs out there, or whatnot. I'm not saying don't shop. Yes, you can shop for lenders. But I say proceed with caution when you find somebody that has the super awesome rate that could be too good to be true. Okay? Make sure that you ask them a certain few questions, like how do you communicate? Is it through phone, just all through email? Do you text? Do you work on weekends? Right? You can ask them that. Do they work on weekends? And then also, how often do they communicate throughout the transaction? That's a big one. How often do you reach out and give me an update? I got one lender that it's Tuesday. Every Tuesday during the transaction, I know I'm going to get an update no matter what. It could be Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday. It don't matter. I know on Tuesday throughout the transaction, every Tuesday, I'm going to get an update. Lenders take notes. But communication is very important. It's very important. Yes, you can get the awesomest rate and all that, but if they don't close, or if they push your closing back 2-3 weeks or a month because they're too busy or taking their time to get documents in a timely fashion or whatever the case may be, or lacking communication, there will be some delays. They will push your closing back because we need all these docs. There's been lack of communication. You never know. There's a bunch of moving parts. I got to communicate with you. I got to communicate with the seller. I got to communicate with the lender. I got to communicate with title. Sometimes there's other pieces involved like power of attorneys, property managers. There's all these working pieces. So communication is very important, especially from the lender to let you know, hey, these are the docs I need. I need this doc by such and such date. It's just little things like that communication is vital. You can't have a lender that calls you a day or two before closing and say, oh, by the way, I need this doc. I don't have it. That means they didn't check that file until the day or two beforehand. Because if not, if they were up on it, they would have known that this doc was needed. They know what docs are all needed from the beginning of the process. I know what all docs are needed from the beginning of the process. We send these docs over. I always say, hey, when I send it at the end of the email, I always say, if there's anything else that you need from me, please don't hesitate to reach out. Please let me know because I don't want to be behind on documents and turning things in. Sometimes we get busy. We have 4 or 5 transactions going on. There might be one document that just falls through the cracks, right? So that's why communication is important. Now, if you're just one deal at a time, realtor, whatever the case may be, there should never be an issue with getting docs turned in a timely fashion. Yes, but if you're busy and you got 4, 5, 8 transactions going on with all these different, documents that are needed for each deal, you can see why maybe one document might fall through the cracks, right? It happens. Everybody's human. Everybody's busy. But it takes a second to pick up the phone and make a phone call and say, hey, I just want to see where you are. I need this document. Or, hey, let's compare, make sure we're all good. We're on the same page. It's just called communication. You know, you pick up the phone. Hey, by the way, we're moving pretty smooth right here. Looks like you got all the docs in. Nope. I just want to call to give you an update. We're still doing things on our end. We're getting ready to send it to the underwriters in a couple days. Whatever the case may be, communicate so we know where we are in the process of that loan, so I can inform my client, so I can inform you, right? But you should have very good communication as well with your realtor. Also, it's very important. Don't lose that communication. Ask your lender, ask your realtor, how often do you communicate? So ask me too, ask your realtor too. Should be some type of communication process. It should be like, hey, I'll call you every other day throughout the transaction, or I call you when things arrive, or I at least give you an update once a week. It should be something. I'm talking to my clients daily throughout these transactions. There might be 1, 2 days, maybe it goes by. A lot of my clients are out of state, but so we have to talk. We have to communicate. And my local clients, we still talk every 2, 3 days. I'm like, hey, this is where we are in the process. This is what's going on. This is what I need. This is what's needed from you. This is what's needed from the lender. These are all the things that we have to talk about and we have to discuss. So please, when you're out there shopping lenders, ask them these questions, because and they can always lie. And honestly, the only way you're going to figure it out is by using them and trying them. But sometimes that's too late, and then sometimes you're stuck. But I get it. Yes, if you got a great rate, sometimes people say, "Hey, I'll deal with that." You know, hey, I'll deal with the lack of customer service. Okay, that's fine. Just be prepared for a delayed closing, or a closing pushed back, or just that extra frustration throughout the process because of your lender and their lack of communication, or the lack of them just trying to take care of responsibilities and doing their job. So please make sure you choose them wisely. And for me, I always send 3 to 4 people to my client. Hey, these are the 3, 4 lenders I work with. Go ahead, reach out, have a conversation with them, see which is a good fit. I will give them your information so they can reach out as well. So we all on the same page, and we just keep everybody and hold everybody accountable, right? So when they reach out, ask them their questions, pick their brain, apply, see what their different rates are, see what they can offer you once you apply, and then you can just sit them right there, and then you compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. You can compare their fees. Sometimes these agents or these lenders, they will give you this awesome rate, but then you don't read the fine line, and they're charging you an extra 2, 3 points, which could be like an extra $3,000 or something just to get that loan, right? So, check the fine print. Ask them, what are all the fees for this loan? These are questions that you should be asking your lender so they can break them down for you. If they can't answer those questions, run. They should know. Or if they don't know, they should be able to have a document that they can send to you and say, hey, here's our fees. If not, run, because they're hiding something. They shuffle around the question. Well, run. They're not being honest. You want somebody that's honest. You want somebody that communicates, and you want somebody that probably works on weekends, because we buy houses and sell houses on weekends, right? You go to the bank, they just work Monday through Friday. That lender, you can't pick them up and call them on a Saturday and say, hey, I need this document, or whatever the case may be. You can't do that. They work Monday through Friday. So get you a mortgage broker, get you a lender that's going to work for you. Those at the bank as well, most of the time they get paid. They're on salary, so they don't care if you get that house or not. But the mortgage broker, the lenders that I work with, they're lenders. They don't get paid until you get a house. So they're trying their best to get you that house or that property. Pick one of them, because they're going to work for you to earn your business and your respect, and hopefully that you come back. You get some of these guys that are so busy and they don't care. Customer service is terrible. It's out the window. They don't communicate. Docs coming in late, closing late. Supposed to have a closing today. It's late. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that these lenders can do, and they don't even care, because they're like, "Oh, I got a bunch of business, so I don't care about customer service because our rates are so good." Okay, cool. But customer service is important to me, and it should be important to you. I value that. I value people's time, and I respect everybody's time, and I respect everybody's money. Now, I don't want mine wasted. I don't want my time wasted. So same for you. So at the end of the day, you got to make that choice of choosing the right lender. And if you say, "Hey, I want to save a little bit of money off of, 0.5% on a rate, that you might pay extra fees on, or just have this lender that is going to take care of you, and you can pay that extra 0.5% or that extra percent that maybe, that you have to pay. You have to pay for. So choose your lender wisely. Always ask 3 questions. Do you work on weekends? How do you communicate? What is your process? How often do you communicate? Do you turn documents in a timely fashion? These are questions that you need to ask. What are your fees? What are you charging me for this loan? Do you charge points? All these good things are questions you should be asking. Literally, right after the first question, which is what options do you have for me? So I just want to drop the video today, as I always say. I just want to drop the video today on lending. Pick them wisely. I got headache stories that I could tell you about lending. Every deal that I've had that's been stressful, or that I've had a headache, or that you're like, man, I don't even know if this is going to close, or I don't know if this is going to close on time. Due to the lender. Due to the lender. Us realtors, brokers, we're the middleman. We're in between trying to make sure all these working pieces are coming together so you can get your home. But that lender has to do the job as well. We're all human. Everybody drops the ball. Everybody might forget a doc every now and then or something like that. But it don't take that long to pick up a phone and make a phone call, or just to call somebody back when they leave you a voicemail. That's all I'm saying. Make sure the communication is intact when it comes to your lender. It's very important. You heard it here first. So when you get in that transaction and it's a nightmare and it's crazy, it's usually because of the lender. And when it is, don't come looking at me and say there was an issue. And I'm going to say, well, that's the lender that you chose. I apologize, but I don't control that. But I'm going to say, hey, you got this video right here where I try to tell you, be careful with choosing your lender. So when that broker lender gives you 3 to 4 people, he knows that 3 or 4 people should be ones that can get it done. Trust them. Trust your lender or broker. Trust your agent. But yeah, verify, right? You can trust but verify. As I always say, trust but verify, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And if you're working with an agent, you should trust them. We are your resource. We're your real estate resource. A lot of us are a wealth of knowledge. We can give you all that information, but you got to trust us. It doesn't work if you don't trust us. It just doesn't work. Or it will work, but it will be stressful because of lack of trust. And so if you don't trust them, you should not be working with them. Period. But if you trust me to sign a document and say, hey, let's get this house and we get going, then there should be no reason you shouldn't trust me throughout the process, right? Unless I show or prove to you otherwise. But trust but verify, have very good communication. Sorry, I can't talk. Get good communication. Please start communicating. And pick your lender wisely and make sure that lender is a good one that's going to communicate, and hold your lender accountable. You're hiring them to work. Hold them accountable. Hold me accountable. Make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to do so we can get you the property or the home that you want and so you can close on time. All right? So pick your lender wisely. I don't want to sit here and tell you all the horror stories I have. People sit here and they tell you, oh, buying a house is stressful and da 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 da. Yeah, buying a house can be stressful, but it does not have to be. It does not have to be stressful. I've had some that have been super smooth, but I had some that they are stressful too. The 7 out of 10 times when they're stressful is because of people. The only reason why it's stressful is people. People aren't doing what they're supposed to do. They're not sending docs on time. They're not communicating on time. Or maybe the seller or the listing agent's just being difficult, or the buyer's agent's being difficult. Whatever the case may be, 9 times out of 10 when it's stressful, it's because of people. So choose better people to work with. Right? That's the underlying thing here, right? It shouldn't be that stressful. Yes, it is stressful. You're buying a home, but it shouldn't be super stressful, and it shouldn't be to the point to where it's taxing and weighing on you, because if that's the case, then we all fail, because we want to make sure this is seamless as possible. But there's a lot of moving parts, and sometimes it is not seamless. especially when you deal with people and people make mistakes. But we got to hold everybody accountable, and we all got to work together to get it done. So pick your lender wisely. That's it for today. I'm going to say it again. Pick your lender wisely. All right? Everybody have a safe and blessed day. Like I always say, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.